everyone. Welcome back to episode 66. No, 68. Welcome back to episode 68 of the Simple One Podcast. I'm your host, Colin, and I'm joined by my co-host, Chris.
How we doing, everybody?
We're just a couple of best friends who are passionate about all things pop culture. If you're looking for lukewarm takes on movies, video games, TV shows, or even the occasional comic, then we've got the show for you.
That's right.
This week...
I'm pooped.
Yeah,
I'm on vacation mode.
I
went back to work yesterday.
Yeah, today was my first day back, and it wasn't great.
Yeah.
It was a fine day at work, but it was work.
Yeah.
You know. And so we kind of talked about it, and we think this week, because we do have a lot that we want to talk about from Disney, and we've got to address, we've got to talk about The Flash, which we went and saw on Sunday. We're just going to kind of give our Flash review and then talk about our Disney experience, and then see you guys next week.
Yeah, I'm not, no offense, but I'm trying to be bundled up in bed and not do a whole lot.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
It was
Go ahead
and put that on mute. Jesus.
Sorry, it's just we just got an email for Simply One.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. No, we didn't.
Yeah, because I get the emails too.
Damn it, he's on to me.
It was probably your fucking, dick grower, you know?
Here's my Blue Chew.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
Come on, Icy Spicy.
I'm your biggest munch.
So, Chris, do you want to tell people... We kind of have to... Do we want to do The Flash first or Disney first?
Let's talk about The Flash. No, let's talk about Disney because...
It kind of leads into
us going to see The Flash.
So, we went to Disney for about a week. In fact, we posted what was meant to be the first post of daily posts on last Monday or Tuesday. It was Tuesday. Mm-hmm. We posted on a recap of Monday.
I want to take a drink. I'm sorry. It might be a little clinky clink back here.
Yeah. In fact, last week we posted on Tuesday the first of what was meant to be daily, photo dumps of, hey, here's how day 2 went at Disney, day 3. But it just turned into it was so hot.
It's just hard to do. Part of me does think we just walked aimlessly like a zombie just around the park.
Dude, especially by you get to the end of the day.
Oh my God, dude.
There's nothing more demoralizing. There's nothing more demoralizing than just the walk back to the bus.
Yeah.
And you're just like...
Dude, as soon as those bus doors open, you're sitting in that AC. I mean, you're just rejuvenated.
Not really. I feel like you just sit there and just kind of... You're just holding on, and then you get to your resort, and then you gotta walk to your room
back, and
you're like, "Fuck!" It just feels like a list of infinites. You know, it's just I'm never gonna make it to the bus. The bus is never gonna make it to the resort. I'm never gonna make it from the bus to the room at the resort. And then you get to wake up and do it again tomorrow.
That's right.
We did have a really good time though. We were complaining,
we did,
but just the heat was so brutal.
It got to you quick.
And we basically got back to the room and then slept.
It only rained our last day.
And barely.
Yeah, it just drizzled.
Yeah.
So, it was just hot.
Yeah, 105 with the heat index.
Oh, my God.
And I got burnt to a crisp at the water park.
You got blisters all over your bag.
Yeah. Reapply your sunscreen, kids.
I got burned on the shoulders, but...
You're tanning out.
Yeah.
My face is tanned out.
I think my face tanned out. My arms tanned out first, and then my shoulders are starting. But yeah, you're still a little pink on the shoulders, and then just yellow from your blisters.
Yeah. And the hole across my back is just snagging at my shirt right now from all of the skin. Just...
I'd say let's peel it off, and you'll have a wicked scar.
Yeah. Fuck it. So, day 1. We got there.
Magic Kingdom.
Well,
no. When we first got there, we went to
Disney Springs. Yeah, because on our day that we arrived, we didn't go to a park or anything. We just... Can you imagine doing park and travel on the same day? Fuck you.
Yeah.
So we went to Disney Springs, had dinner at the Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah.
And you had a cool time there.
That was a lot of fun.
This was your first real time at Disney. Mm-hmm. So Morgan and I had been before. There were still things that were new to her and I. But a lot of it was like, hey, here's some firsts for you.
Yeah. We went to Rainforest Cafe, and it was pretty cool, man. They had a bunch of
animatronics
sitting in there, and every so often the lights would dim down, and they would
thunder and lightning,
lights would flicker and stuff like that, and that was a lot of fun. And then I had a double whammy because they were playing X-Men up on the TV in the bar, and so I want to eat my dinner. I just get to watch that a little bit every so often, and I went in the bathrooms and checked that out as just a bathroom.
Like,
Whenever you get places like that, you know it's authentic when
I know.
they decorate the bathrooms.
When we got to
with it, too.
Galaxy's Edge, and you're like, I gotta go check out the bathrooms.
I do.
And they were Star Wars.
They were very Star Wars themed.
Yeah.
It felt like, especially in the sinks, how it was just like a buckhouse. Like I could see why the design is like this because you don't know how big the person is or how small they are. So I mean, it fit.
Yeah.
But no, Rainforest Cafe was super cool. The flames spitting out of it for the volcano and stuff like that. That was a lot of fun.
We got back to our room. We stayed at the French Quarter, which is designed to look like the French Quarter of New Orleans. They've got a fucking jazz lounge,
dude,
with live music on the weekends. And, they've got a fucking basically a swim up bar. It's kind of nice. It's a nice resort.
Yeah. It was fairly quiet too. I mean, I thought because when we got there, they have like a pool and stuff there, and it is like a little kiddies in the sense of like they have a slide there, but like it's a big slide because it's like it's supposed to be an alligator.
Yeah,
or a dragon.
I think it's like a dragon, maybe.
Yeah,
or I don't know.
But
sea snake. Who knows?
I mean, it's cool because it kind of arches over the entire pool, but it isn't. It isn't a large slide. Right? So it's but. No, it wasn't too bad. Even during the day, it wasn't too loud or anything with kids. And then at night, like it was real quiet and it was nice and peaceful. And I mean, sitting outside.
So we went to the jazz lounge. Morgan was like tired after
I'm pooped, cooked
after traveling. She was like, I think I'm just gonna like read and go to sleep. And we're like, all right, well, we're gonna go down to the jazz lounge, watch some people play music and maybe get a couple drinks or something. So we went down there and. It was a real nice atmosphere. We were kind of like, are we underdressed? Because like we're in our swim trunks because our plan was to watch some, listen to some jazz and then go hit the pool.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, of course, come on in.
Yeah, you're good, man.
And so all right. So we went in and sat down.
Got our towels and our flippy flops.
Yeah. And I think
we sat like front row.
Yeah, we were right up against the stage. It was a nice like small.
Yeah, it wasn't big or nothing, but
yeah. And we each had a hurricane, which is just 3 kinds of rum, basically. With some fruit juice in it.
Fruit juice was for color.
Yeah.
That was it, man.
And you took your first drink and you're like, smooth. Yeah. Oh man, it's like candy. And then we each crushed our hurricane, and the waiter came back, the server came back, and he was like, "You guys want another round, or what do you want?" Yeah, we might as well. And he was like, "You want another hurricane?" And you're like, "What else do you recommend?"
Yeah, I was like, I need something.
And so they had a bourbon peach tea that was really good.
He recommended.
Yeah.
He was like, that's probably my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Man,
it was pretty good.
He hit it right on the nose, man. It tasted so freaking good. I want one right now.
Yeah. I could make it right now. I just don't have the peach schnapps.
And then you can't make it.
But I got the Crown Peach. So I could just do that instead of...
Do we have... No, we don't have tea. That's a coffee thing. I always think it's tea.
I know. So, all of that to say, the music was really, really good. Check them out. What were they called? The Jazz Fusion Band.
Mm-hmm.
They were really good.
I'm sure, because we'll be still posting photos on our Instagram of Disney. I'll get to doing that. And I have a video of them, and I'll tag all of them, because afterwards, I'll tell this next part, because when we stood up.
After the 2 drinks, we stood up.
When we stood up, I was like...
Because we drank the 2 drinks in probably about maybe a half hour, 45 minutes.
Not even.
Because their set was probably about a half hour.
And I finished... Well, I did sip on the peach tea, but I did drink the hurricane quick, because I was like, I want it gone.
Yeah.
But afterwards, we stood up, and I was like, I got to run over and tell them, like, I really like their stuff, and because they were small and stuff like that, and like it wasn't like a big thing, so no one was getting up, and I went over, I was like, do you guys have like a social media, or like do you guys post music on like Spotify or any platforms? And they're like, no, we don't do any of that, but like we do have some social media. And they all I followed all of them, and they all just followed me back. Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm Mr. Popular.
That's right.
Yeah, we walked out, and there's 2 other guys, the
band,
the
bassist and the drummer. No, the bassist and the keyboardist.
And we got to talking to them for a minute, and then we left and went up to the swim up bar, and we're like,
you got a Mai Tai?
Yeah.
And then I got something called a Nola Cola,
which
is basically just like a slushy. Oh, I don't even know what flavor it is.
I'd say like almost like
fruit. It was like a passion fruit, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like a lavender color. And dude,
it's just
smooth as hell.
Too good.
And I drank one of those and was like, shit, I'm fucked. That was like, I don't feel right, man. And we're like, you know what we need to do?
There we go. Soak in the
Gotta go
hot
soak in
tub.
the hot tub, which alcohol and the hot tub do not combine.
No, they did for us.
Yeah, not
we
supposed to do
were
that.
cruising.
And so we saunter over to the hot tub, and it's in like a nice, like secluded grotto.
Yeah, 'cause it's for adults.
Yeah, and so we like open the gate, you know, and as we go walking in, there is a young couple, maybe your early 20s, maybe late teens, 18, 19, 20, and it definitely looked like they were getting ready to figure out if they could have sex out there. Like she's laying, it's like 10 o'clock at night, 10:30.
Nobody's out there. I mean,
Nobody's out there. Yeah, they were the only people there. Bushes around it. It's real secluded. It would have been the perfect moment for him to like put the moves on and at least get some foreplay started. And I'm thinking that's where he was headed. And then just these two fucking schmucks who were drunk,
waddling in
with just squeaky flip flops from where we dipped our toes in the pool. And then we're like, we set our stuff down. And as soon as that gate slams and I see him, I just went, "Sorry about it, Chief."
and then we both started.
Splash into the water. Like, what tools? So that was our.
That was night one.
Yeah, we sauntered back to the room and finished our leftovers
Yeah.
from Rainforest Cafe, and passed out, and then woke up and went to Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. What was your favorite thing from Magic Kingdom?
Tomorrowland was really cool.
Yeah,
Tomorrowland was really, really cool.
yeah.
I'm all about like the futuristic stuff anyways.
Mm-hmm.
When we first pull up skirt, which I think we do have photos of Tomorrowland on our Instagram.
We already posted them,
Yeah. So that was really cool. And then it was cool. We took like the ride around Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
And that was really cool just because like, I don't know, like it was slow, but like it was really nice scenery, I guess.
I feel like Magic Kingdom has a lot of those types of rides. Where like they do have Space Mountain, they do have some like thrill rides, but not a ton.
Space Mountain was a lot of fun too. I don't know. I can't. That's hard to say.
Yeah, we didn't get to ride the Tron ride.
No, you had to have a reservation for that one, which
we didn't.
Kind of sucked.
Yeah,
but and then we did ride the
Big Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed Big Thunder Mountain, and then Pirates of the Caribbean was a pretty cool, like experiential ride like that, where it's just a little raft ride with animatronics and stuff going on around you, but it's pretty cool.
It's almost like watching a movie.
Yeah,
because you just sit down, and people always fucking talking there, which stop.
Yeah,
just let me enjoy the ride. Like, I will say, I got to telling you while we were there, I'm starting to have a fear of people. Like, not like I'm like, oh, I'm scared of a person, but it's just like I hate people.
Yeah, it's not a fear, it's a dislike.
I just like, there's so many people. They're all a klutz. None of them know what they're doing. They can't walk in a straight line for the life of them, dude.
No.
And they can't walk in a consistent pace. Like, I feel like, I always felt bad because I'd always turn around and you guys are way back.
But you were just fucking plowing forward.
I think it's just because of work. I walk, and when I walk, I'm trying to walk as quick as I can so I can, talk, run back and forth. But I walk with a purpose, and everyone was just, and I'm just moved.
Like they're on vacation or something. Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, we were not racing to catch you. We were like, well, he'll turn to say something, and he'll go, oh shit.
Mm-hmm. But no, so we went on. It's a small world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan made us ride it.
I hate that ride.
She was like, we got it. And we're like, oh my God, Jesus.
Why do we have to?
Why do we got to? Yeah. So we rode the thing, and about halfway through, when we got to the end, I looked over and I was like, there you go, baby girl. I said, do you like the ride? And she was like, it's all right. And I was like, are you fucking with me? We sat through a goddamn 30-minute line to ride this basically torture device.
That you had it going.
Yeah. And it was because she needed you to experience it.
I've been on It's a Small World. I've been to Disneyland.
I don't know, man. Either way, we had a good time.
We had a great time.
Oh
my
God.
Man's got his nuts on the door.
Yes, Sullivan, the dog, just
in hindsight, to help you picture what we're seeing, my dog Sullivan is laying on his back, and his legs are cocked eagle spread, and he's got his paws up, and he's just got his balls resting on the front door.
Not to describe them, but to describe them,
nuts.
they look like a human. It looks like a fucking 53-year-old dude's scrotum.
Yeah, too damn big.
Like,
it's intimidating sometimes how big they are.
You're like, my God.
The kahuna's on him, literally.
Yeah. You know, and a lot of times you see dogs have like nice, tight, shiny balls. You know what I'm saying? You know, shiny purple nuts. Not this man. He's got fucking pink, like human man balls.
Hairy and pink.
They're just hanging. Oh, man. Get him away. Sullivan, close your legs.
He's out cold, man. He's sleeping.
He's comfy.
He's got the fan on him.
Yeah.
If you ain't ever laid butt naked eagle spread and let the fan cool on your cock and taters, missing out on the key points of life, people.
All right. So, day 2. Did you have anything else from... we ate at Tony's Italian Bistro, which is supposed to be the restaurant from
Lady and the Tramp.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I got I just got spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah.
And I only got 2 meatballs, but they were pretty big meatballs, so I was like, all right.
And we got the garlic bread.
Yeah, the garlic bread was
fucking
good.
cheese fondue. Yo.
Oh my god, I was tearing that up. It was really pretty in there too. They had the glass top on it.
Yeah.
That was really nice and cool. And it was a nice sunny day too, and
Yeah.
it was nice and cool in there. And we got to just kind of watch people walk around the park because you could see the castle from where we sat at.
Yeah.
And so it was nice just to kind of sit there and eat that. And then
there is something about the branding, I think. I was talking to my dad about this. I said, you feel however you want about the capitalists, but god damn it, if Disney doesn't know how to brand and make money.
They know how to do it.
Yeah.
They know how to get you in there.
Like we spent a fair amount of money, but not as much as we thought we had. Morgan and I were kind of looking at what all we'd spent and paid for it. And it wasn't as much as we thought. But I think you were sweating it more than I don't know. Maybe her and I had an expectation, maybe, But either way, I never once was like, I never made a transaction that I then felt bad about, if that makes sense.
Neither did I. I don't think so.
And that's a big part of sales, as you know, is it's all about how the transaction makes you feel.
Yeah, anything that I did buy, I was like, I wanted it to the point where I'm like, I think that's a reasonable price. I can justify it. I want it. The thing I don't think I took into consideration as much as I should have is how expensive food was going to be.
Yeah.
Because I figured, I was like, the foods, they're probably like, buy ice cream or something, it'd be like $5-8, and it'd be a little more expensive.
Yeah.
Damn, man, the food was hella expensive.
Yeah, because you got to eat.
Yeah. And then that's what they got you. And that was just like, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Wake up, sheeple.
But no, to come into Disney,
to what?
Into the Magic Kingdom. And there's Main Street there, and then at the end of Main Street is the castle. Yeah, it is like it
is pretty.
Yeah, it's like, damn, there you go. It's a very grand thing to see.
Yeah, we got to see Princess Tiana and Prince Frog. I don't know. I can't remember his name.
His name
Albert. I think. But they were up there doing a show and singing and stuff like that, and they had a bunch of. They had like Mickey and Minnie out there.
Yeah.
We didn't stick around too long because it was kind of far.
It was a pretty big crowd.
Yeah, but it was nice to see that. And then that's on our way to Tomorrowland. Mm-hmm. And then from there we went to like the Laugh Factory with Mike Wazowski, which I'm not going to... I thought that was going to be... I think I had the expectation of it was going to be a lot more kiddie and not as enjoyable as an adult.
Yeah.
I have my foot in my mouth because, it was very family friendly.
Right.
But
it's still funny.
They made it in a position where it's like... Just good humor.
Yeah.
Good family fun humor.
Yeah, it's basically the live comedy show.
Someone can do the voice of like Mike Wazowski really, really well. Yeah. And then they're just like sitting behind a screen and they got,
some sort of AR or whatever.
Yeah, however they have that.
Yeah, the augmented reality. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a good time. Mm-hmm. Day 2, went to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
That was a good day.
We kicked that off with Tower of Terror.
Yeah, I went straight to it. Mm-hmm. And
which I think was a very smart move.
I do too.
Because that was a line we probably waited the longest for. Probably,
yeah. Yeah, even longer, I think, than Smuggler's Den. Or Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, I think the longest wait I remember was for the River to Na'vi and...
Yeah, the Na'vi River Tour.
Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
I think those are the longest lines.
And none of the ride waits were terrible, honestly. Mm-mm. The thing that we kept... I don't know that we ever waited more than an hour. And the thing that we always noticed was they'd have a posted like expected wait time, and it was always
they always kind of highballed it.
Yeah,
which I was like thinking on it now is smart.
Yeah,
smart. But for day 2 we went to Hollywood Studios and we went to and I think we've talked about it on here. I love Twilight Zone. I'll eat that shit up. Whenever it's on, I'll always watch it and stuff like that. So it was super cool. to kind of sit there. But while we were waiting in line, it was
hot.
It's the first one we got there. By the time we made it to the point in the line where we stopped moving, like, walking in from the line, walking in, filling in the dead space.
Yeah, and then you're now actually standing and waiting.
We were all already sweating. You had a sweat ring
in my gray shirt.
And my pits were getting sweaty, and it was everybody there was sweating.
Yeah. There's the young girl behind us.
And there was a little girl behind us.
We went under like a garden trellis to get into like the lobby of the hotel, you know. And as you're walking under the trellis, there's fans in the ceiling, and the little girl like gestures up, like raises her hands over, like
praising,
she's testifying.
like she's praising God.
And she goes, she was like maybe 11, and she goes, "There's a fan."
And I went,
"You went hope." And I looked at you and I went, "It poisons the soul." Yeah, because you're like, she's done. Yeah,
and she's got to walk back because there's another spot where there wasn't that fan and you're not in the shade anymore.
And like I said, we're gonna go inside. It's gonna be AC in here, and then you go back outside, and time will have passed, and it's just going to have gotten hotter out. And then you got the comparison between the AC and the heat.
We were just so cool, and now it's just so hot.
So hot, and it hits you like a wall.
Yeah.
Step out and you're like,
and they do it just right for somehow being able to like get that AC blasting in there because it's cold, and they'll have the doors open.
Yeah,
right, and they'll be blasting all day long.
You'll feel the cold coming out. You'll walk past a shop and go,
just kisses you, caresses your face.
But so we get in the ride, and I'm very afraid of heights, but I have ridden this ride before, so I kind of had like I'll be all right. You know what I mean? I've done this before. It's all right. And I get in there. We were very front row. I'm sat right in front of the doors. When the doors open, I get to look out. And you were against the wall, and Morgan was between us. And for people that don't know, the Tower of Terror is an elevator ride. That's a large elevator that everybody sat in.
Well, it's an actual episode of The Twilight Zone, ain't it?
I'm not sure.
The concept of it.
It could be, but I'm not sure. I've always known it through the lens of the ride.
I thought it was an actual episode.
I'm not sure.
Because I thought there's a whole like story arc behind like the bellboy.
Well, I know that Disney made a movie of it.
Maybe that's something. Continue.
So they, and basically the elevator ride is going to take you to nowhere.
Take you to the Twilight Zone.
And so I like that we just did not make the theme song. Just drunk. So it takes you up in the elevator and then drops you. So it's just a classic drop. Kings Island here in Ohio, there's something called the Drop Zone.
I remember when it was still called the Drop Tower.
Yeah.
Or no, it's not called Drop Zone no more.
I think, is it now the Drop Tower?
I think it's now the Drop Tower. I remember when it was Drop Zone.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, Six Flags had one that malfunctioned and hurt somebody.
Cedar Point just had they tore Topfield Dragster down because a piece fell off and hit somebody. And I was like, imagine how bad that is for business because that was their ride.
Yeah, the Topfield Dragster was like the fastest coaster in the world for a long time.
I think it still is in like the U.S.
Not anymore.
Well, it was, yeah.
But, so it's a fun ride, but man, it makes you scream.
Yeah.
Just involuntarily.
Yeah.
Because, the wind and everything is being pulled out of you as you're falling. And the photo, I wish we could post the photos without our faces, but then it doesn't do it justice because your face in every photo.
I'm a big screamer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're a screamer.
And screamer, I barely know.
Morgan's got a hold of your armrest.
Yeah.
She reached across you to grab your handle. That everybody gets like a handle
but since she was in the middle, she didn't have one.
Yeah,
and so she like reached over and grabbed mine, and so I can't grab mine. So I'm like wrapped around her arm, freaking the hell out,
screaming.
What got me was the first time we fell, I was fine.
Yeah,
and then we went back up, and the second time I came out of my seat a little bit, and that just did me for the rest. I was like, now that I know that can happen, it can happen at any given second. And I was like, python, man.
Just coiling around her. Please don't let me die. Don't let me go. And so I was like, all right, well, that's a good family photo there. Just Chris panicking wrapped around your arm. So then, I don't know, we were at a few things, went over to meet Chewbacca, Darth Vader, BB-8.
That was fun. Meeting BB-8 was cool. Looking at it now, I feel kind of dumb because like they said when we walked in there, talk to BB-8 and that woman's there to translate, like, the whole shtick behind it.
Yeah.
And I just talked to the woman. And I was like, can I take a picture? Can I put my arm around him? And she's like, I don't know why you're talking to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, and so I was like, man, fuck, I wish I talk to him.
Yeah.
Darth Vader was really cool. He was super intimidating.
Yeah.
Like, it was like I couldn't help but like I had a smirk on my face because it's Darth Vader and I'm having a great time.
Yeah, it's cool. But there is a piece of you that's like,
yeah, like, there was a tall man towering over you, just
with that voice and the stature, and you're like,
and so it was like a very like uncomfortable like with Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands
right now. Yeah.
Chewbacca, I gave him a big old hug, and he was hugging me back, and we took some pictures, and he was hugging me, and he was cool with him. Yeah. He knew what's up. And then they had the launch bay, which is where they had a bunch of their like life size. They had the life size land speeder from like Endor.
Endor, yeah.
And that was really cool.
The Scout.
And then they had like a bunch of models of like the Death Star, Slave One. That was probably my favorite one. I think that was so cool. I had to take a wicked piss, and I remember I didn't know if I could make. I had to take a poop.
Yeah.
And I remember it was right after we're done, and you got a blister on your foot, and we had to sit down for a minute because you're like, I got to get it just hurts for a minute.
Off of this, yeah.
And which was cool. I mean, it's hot, and we're like we're on vacation, we ain't rushing nowhere, and so I was like, well, why are y'all doing that? Let me go take a poop, and I'm walking around. I'm like, I can't fucking find this bathroom, man. And so eventually I find this poor girl works there.
I gotta take a mad shit.
And I'm like, listen, I gotta take a Walt Disney shit. Like, you need to instruct me with your 2-finger point of where the closest bathroom is. She's like, yeah, you're gonna walk outside. And I was like, where outside? And she goes, you're gonna leave this whole section. And I was like, what? She's like, you're gonna bank a right, and it should be there. So I'm walking there, and the stalls are full for a minute. So I'm just waiting, and my stomach's just. And finally, I got there, and I mean, I took I was gone for a minute.
Yeah.
And then finally I came back and was just like, oh, what's the plan here? And then we got up, and after that, we left, and where did we go after that? That took us to.
We went over to Toy Story Land, and we went to rode Slinky's Dash or whatever. Kind of a bust. It looked like a really.
Kind of.
It was a bust.
It was a bust.
It was mid as fuck. It looked like a really good coaster.
And in the commercials, it looks good too. And I bet
commercials.
I mean, you see them all the time with like the big slinky ride. Because I mean, it's tall, it's big, it's high off the ground.
It's like a metal coaster. It's a full.
You think it's gonna go fast, and it makes you think you're gonna go.
Even like the effects noises that they use of like
because it stops you.
It's supposed to be like Slinky contracting and then springing away, and it just
doesn't go that fast.
Yeah.
And like it shoots you not high up, but like you go up a pretty steep hill.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're expecting to kind of zoom down
the other side.
And you just don't.
Yeah.
And so that was very mid. And like even like a couple of us, I remember the guy that I was sitting next to, we both went, oh.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah.
And then, and that was it. And then we got up and we're like,
all right,
let's get out of here.
Yeah.
That line felt long too.
Yeah.
For the Slinky one.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went to.
I think then we went to Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, we did. Dude, Galaxy's Edge was so much fucking fun.
Yeah, it was fucking incredible. I mean, we got blue milk.
Yeah, which was rice milk and coconut water, which was super, super good. And now I want to make that. I want to be able to make that here knowing, like, this is actually blue milk.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a lot of fun. And it's not dairy. Because I remember, like, when we pulled up, that was my first. I was like, I don't want so dairy.
Yeah, get some fucking milk in your belly.
And then I'm going up there and, like, looking at what's in it. It was rice milk and coconut water. And so I was like, that sounds really, really good. And it was really good. And then, like, not even buying anything, but just, like, going into the shops and everything's just so on themed. It was nice just to
be there,
walk around.
Yeah. The one complaint that I did make when I was telling Dad about it was I think something that would really, like, up the immersion one more. Like, there you go. That's the thing. You need some of the cast members to be in effects makeup. They need to be aliens.
Yeah. That would be really, really cool.
There were no aliens there. And I think that... that would have really taken it up a notch.
Well, I mean,
especially at the cantina, that would have been perfect.
Oh my god, get like a Twi'lek in there.
Yeah, exactly. If the bartender was a Twi'lek or something like that,
that'd be a lot of fun. And like, if I work, because the entire time I'm sitting there thinking, I could work here. Like, this would be so much fucking fun. Yeah. But if I was working there, so hard, I'd be like, yeah, give me some tentacles on my head. Like, I'll be a Twi'lek. You massaging your tit over there?
No, my nipples are sunburnt.
Oh, you poor thing.
And I just wearing a dress shirt at work all day. They're
tender chafing.
But I get chilly, so I got to leave this t-shirt on.
After that, we did the Smuggler's Run, which was really, really cool, and like the line wrapped around.
Fucking flew the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, you and I
piloted it.
It was us three, and then a family of 3, 6 people
mom
total.
And 2 sons.
And you didn't really get to pick. which position you got.
And when I think originally you and I thought
it was only
going to be a 3-man team, instead it'd be you, me, and Morgan.
It's a gunner, a pilot, and then an engineer. And so we're like, that makes sense. It's 3 people in there. And then we got there, and it's 6 people. Were like,
I really want to pilot.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so do I, but I was like, all right, I'll let him pilot, I guess. You know.
And then we got up there, and she goes, all right, it's going to be...
Pointed at the two of us and was like, all right, so pilots. And we're like...
like 2 pilots. Then we got to pilot that thing together, and I got to hit the light speed because it was on my side. But it was a cool concept of, like, you got to control if we go up or down, and I got to do...
I was left or right. You were up and down.
You're right, yeah.
Because I remember yelling at you, pull up, Chris! Yeah. You know?
And...
it's basically a full-motion flight simulator with, the full screen even up over your head. Which was pretty cool that you could look up and still see the environment around you. And then, just a bunch of buttons that light up and tell you when to push them and things like that.
I'm curious on how they did it because they sent multiple people in the same room. For like when we were waiting in line. Because it's just like you're in a box essentially, right?
Yeah.
But like there were people in front of us. And then they went in, the doors closed. And then like 2 minutes later, we went in. So like, does it move it? Can they move it and like play multiple scenarios at the same time?
I'm sure, yeah.
Because that was the one thought I had is like, I noticed we went in pretty quick after them, and they had 2 separate lines, so I figured maybe 2 on each one, trying to burn it up quicker.
Yeah, move people through.
But we made it. We
made the run.
We successfully did the run, and I got to we got to giggling afterwards because you're like, man, we barely made it, and I was like. Thinking about it, I was like, Han Solo barely makes it with a lot of the stuff that he does, and that's kind of the whole shtick is like...
with like 30% health.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
I was eyeballing that health, too.
Yeah, so was I. I was looking at it every so often, I was like...
Because I was in charge of, like, dodging incoming shots from the back, back shots. And so I was like... Oh, fuck.
Our engineers. Morgan was doing a really good job as the gunner. Yeah. She was taking them out. And then whoever was our engineers, they fucking sucked.
It was the mom and one of the sons.
Yeah, they were just...
Not well.
The ass, dude. They would have gotten us killed.
Yeah. If it wasn't for our goddamn piloting.
Yeah, dude, we saved us. Yeah. Let's just say that.
Let's just come out and say it.
This is pod racing. But then after that, we didn't go on the other one because it was shut down. It was closed.
Yeah, the Rise of the Resistance.
Which I was pretty bummed out. Called? Yeah, because that one I hear is like that's the big one.
Yeah.
And so, we're a little bummed about that. And then we just did a lot of shopping there and kind of taking a look around. Yeah. We didn't get to customize our lightsabers because you had to make a reservation for it, which I was like, again...
Didn't know that.
It would have been nice to know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the end of the world. And then we got some kyber crystals and stuff like that. And then...
We ended up... where did we have dinner at?
Woody's Roundup.
Woody's Roundup, yeah. It was a pretty cool barbecue place.
Dude, I just got to say, I think like out of all the meals...
That was the best one.
No, I got ribs multiple times. And like, I don't know why, but I was a ribbed fiend.
Yeah, you were.
On this trip.
You were fucking up some pork ribs. So, that was really cool. Toy Story themed restaurant, family style barbecue. And then we went back and had drinks at
the cantina. Which is really cool. And I'm excited to post those pictures because we got it was after hours on the park. So I got really good photos and videos of like some of the, sculptures, some of the structures and everything, some of the ships without anybody around them. And it's nice and dark night. And they got the lights beaming up on them and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. I'm glad I got good photos of that.
Day 3 we went to Epcot.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I mean, everybody knows Epcot's kind of like the, travel around the world.
Yeah, different cultures and stuff like that. I will say the ride of
Inside the Ball.
It was very motivational and very like
what was it called, like Spaceship Earth? Yeah, and it was a really cool like train ride type thing. I mean, taking you through animatronics.
Not even a pole bar. You just sat down.
Yeah,
and it's a pretty slow ride.
Yeah, and it's just basically showing you like human progress. And and it was a nice motivational thing of like, look at how far we've come. Right.
It did ask the question where I was like,
right, so what are you going to do next?
Yeah, all the decisions these people made in the past
have benefited
has led you to where you are now. What are you going to do today to lead for tomorrow? Yeah, and that did kind of. I sat back and I was like, I don't know.
I don't know, like, Disney, you multi-billion-dollar corporation. What are you going to do? The fuck's it up to me for?
But it did motivate me. As like, I want to do more because at the end of the day, like, granted, everything going on in the world, we want humans to win. Yeah, right. We want humanity to be good,
better. Yeah.
And so it was just really nice to think of it like that in a
Mexico was really cool.
harsh world. Dude, Mexico is banging. I think it was probably
Japan was pretty dope, but we didn't.
Norway was really cool too.
Yeah, I still think Mexico is like the coolest to go into.
Yeah, because it was like a whole
market
inside.
And
like when you walk inside, it looks like you're still outside.
Yeah,
but it's at nighttime,
yeah.
and like just a bunch of like little pop up stands in there, and like buildings on the side and everything. And then there's a restaurant in front of like one of the Aztec pyramids.
Yeah, yeah, and they did some really good forced perspective of like screens and sculptures to make it look like there's a volcano in the distance,
like erupting,
that you could go to. You know, and like the water. There's a restaurant that you could eat in there on the water.
Yeah,
where there was actually a pool there that they made, and so yeah, it looks like off across the water is this is the pyramid and the volcano.
Really cool. We didn't know there was a restaurant there.
That would have been a cool place to have dinner. Morgan, if you listen to this, that's your fault.
We blame you.
Yeah, we had dinner at
I think after that
the Coral Reef restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had my mahi over Jasmine.
We all had mahi.
It was all good.
That was
Morgan almost had a heat stroke, dude.
Yeah, she was not well.
She was starting to freak us both out.
Yeah,
and like you were, this is how it played in my head. Morgan's dying. You're panicking, but you're not like frantically panicking.
Yeah.
You're like asking her questions, like trying to get all the information. So
you get an assessment of.
And I'm just like. In my head, I'm like, we just got to get there. If we get there, everything will be fine. We got to storm this beach, man. We got to get there. And as soon as we get there,
get out of those guns.
Yeah, we'll have the upper hand. And so, literally, I have the map, and I'm like leading us there, and you're, talking to her, and then finally we got there.
Fucking focused.
She's getting woozy.
Yeah.
And finally we got there, and the guy was looking at us, and I mean,
it's like, you got to get you guys anything to start. Like water.
Yeah. Sugar water. More sugar. But I mean, we were slurping those waters down, and then we all got food. The mahi over jasmine rice. Corn. It was like a nice,
and then like a street corn salsa. Yeah,
with tartar sauce to the side, and that was really, really good.
We had was it seafood artichoke dip?
Oh yeah, that was banging.
Busting.
It had like a lot.
It was busting.
It was
unequivocally fucking busting.
Gas.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, day 4 went to fucking Typhoon Lagoon.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah, boof. Don't do it. No, it was a fun time, but I am a little bit jaded against the experience because I'm still recovering. Nearly a week later.
I think it was the lazy river that did us in.
I do too.
Because we were all like damn near fall. I mean, we all basically like otters, locked in on each tube.
Yeah,
and just like fell asleep and just were floating around for a bit. But then we had the wave pool
was insane.
They had like normal sized waves, where it's sloshing you around, stuff like that, and then.
Periodically.
Like every 10 minutes, you'd hear
crank it up. Yeah. And everybody goes, ah!
And I mean, it had like
10-foot waves.
At least a 10-foot wave.
Like with the white caps as it rolls over.
Yeah. I lost my sunglasses. Water. I almost lost my hat.
Yeah.
And it blow us like 10 feet back and stuff like that. And I'm over here swimming past the red line. Guys, look at me. And I David Hasselhoff my way back. Chest poking out of the tip of the wave. I was surfing, man.
Yeah, man.
And then, we all got burnt to a crisp. And you applied sunscreen. I didn't apply any sunscreen that day.
I didn't reapply until it was too late.
No, I put a little sunscreen. I put some on my hands and rubbed it on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And then after that, I mean, we all went back and we're all like stiff.
And passed away.
Yeah, and all died.
And then fucking had to go back to dinner. I was fighting sun poisoning.
What did we eat for dinner that night?
We went to the House of Blues, the Blues Brothers restaurant.
Yeah, we were. The heat was getting to us that day. We were all so fucking mad at each other and just.
Well, and like I said, I was fighting actual sun poisoning. I had the fucking fever chills.
Yeah, you were really shaking.
With achy joints, and I'm like. Just shivering uncontrollably in the fucking Florida heat, and I'm just over here. I'm not gonna make it, guys.
I gotta lie
down.
But I think that food did help us all, kind of feel a little better. Yeah, but I mean, the heat was just getting to all of us.
Yeah, fucking. I get there and I'm like, I need a hot coffee. And you're like, are you tired? And I'm like, no, I'm freezing.
I'm like, oh,
okay. So I ate that, and then we just were like, we shopped a little bit, and I couldn't really. I'm just standing in the shop like.
shivering.
Trembling.
And then I was hitting a point where like I couldn't stand in stores because I was just so irritable of people.
Yeah.
Like you guys would go in, I'm like, I'm just gonna wait outside because like people just cut right in front of you and like bump into you. I mean,
you just want to punch him in the fucking
I
head.
and like I do, and I just hit a point where I was just like, I feel like I'm getting kind of claustrophobic. I was like, I'm just gonna go wait outside for a bit.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not getting anything in the store anyways.
Yeah. So we ended up calling it a little bit early. Just went back to the fucking room.
And I mean,
Slathered me down in aloe vera. I took actually a cold bath or a cool bath and started to shiver in there and doze off. And I was like, I got to get out of here.
I'm gonna drown.
And so I went and just laid down and trembled until I fell asleep and then slept for like fucking 12 hours.
Yeah, we didn't get up until
Almost noon.
yeah, and then that's the day we went to
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom.
Rode Everest.
Oh, that one
was a
was
really good ride.
banging. Oh, Morgan and I went to Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
At
was
Magic Kingdom,
on
yep.
Magic Kingdom. That was a fun ride. Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because Morgan, this asshole,
Morgan fucking puts
she
you in
puts
the
me in
front.
the front seat, man. And I was
Like
like,
the very front.
the
You're the
very
first car.
front. And like, because she originally was there, and then I was right behind her, and she was like, "Do you want to switch me spots?" And I was like, "Oh, sure, yeah, I don't mind." Like thinking like we're
Yeah.
not up in the front, and then right in
we are.
front. I was like, "Shit." But that was a lot of fun. And then I will say in Typhoon Lagoon, we did go on that slide.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. That was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then we all did the other one where we all got in the raft, and that one was a lot of fun too. Yeah, we went to Pandora after that and Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Kind of a bust.
Yeah. Visually it was very cool.
Yeah, visually it was really cool. But yeah, we
The Navi River Tour was a really long line for a really short ride. Mm-hmm. The animatronic at the end, though, of like a
they should have
priestess,
had more. There was only one.
only the one, but she was impressive.
It was like you were saying, like when we were there, like I would believe that
That
they
is a
somehow
Navi.
made it.
Yeah.
Made it here.
The thing that I told Morgan was her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
When she was speaking the words, if you watch her mouth, you could read her lips.
Yeah, read her lips.
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
It was how smooth, like, because she just had like a nice little sway and was like kind of tapping on some drums and stuff like that, and would occasionally like kind of lift her hands up and like put them in like a praying motion and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And, I mean, it was really good.
Yeah.
Like it was really smooth, and like the wrists would move, and like it was just a very nice flow to it.
This sounds, there's like no non-serial killer way to say, I wonder what it looks like without its skin. you know? But like to see how intricate that would be underneath to make all those facial expressions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of like, I wonder how intensely like intricate it is. I would think it would have to be pretty intense.
A lot of balls and a lot of joints. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But we ate at Tiffin's, which was far too fancy for us.
Not good. Like I gotta love with you. Not my food wasn't that great.
No.
And I was a little bummed out by that because it sounded really good.
Yeah, it was really expensive. It was a white tablecloth kind of restaurant.
Well, because the whole thing is like when
And
she
it was an art gallery.
yeah, I
and
think
a restaurant.
that's where it got us is
And we
the
were
fact that it was an art gallery.
Huh?
Yeah, and we're over here and like
It was not the restaurant Morgan thought it was. She thought it was the Yak and Yeti.
yeah, that place looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it was I wish we'd ate there.
A little bit. Their big thing because we walked past it. It was like Yak and Yeti, authentic food and air conditioned, and I was like, that's when you know it's good is when they're
like,
advertising
we got
that.
motherfucking AC, conditioned air. That was what it said.
Yeah. But then, dude, Expedition Everest might have been one of my favorite rides.
Oh, yeah, it's
just
awesome.
for the aesthetic too for it. I
Yeah.
thought it was really really cool. And again, I took a bunch of videos and pictures of that I'll post on the social media. But yeah, going up was a lot of fun. And then that one again is only a 2-person ride.
Yeah.
So you two sat up front and I sat in the back with some
like a fucking 9-year-old.
9-year-old girl, and we're going up, and I had to close my eyes because we're going up so high. I was getting a little nervous.
Yeah.
And then the second we started going down, I'm
I love, there's a photo of us, and it's our, Morgan and I's car in front of you behind us with this young lady, and you are like, look like you're being threatened at gunpoint. I mean, you are just,
my eyes are wide. And
eyes
I'm
are all back. And that little girl is just smiling with like a hand in the air, and you're white knuckling the bar in front of you.
when we finally made it to the end and stuff like that, you and Morgan are chit chatting up there, and I look over at this little girl and I was like, almost lost my cool. Whew.
Oh,
Glad that's over. That was a lot of fun, man.
and then we traveled home.
Yeah, and that was a whole thing in itself.
Yeah.
Our
Basically,
flight,
yeah.
I mean, we got there at like, what, 8 a.m.?
Yeah.
8, 9, somewhere around then.
Yeah.
Our flights just got delayed. We had to like cross
there
flight
were
back
storms
here.
and-
And we were there from like 8, and we didn't get home until like 3 a.m.
Yeah, we were supposed to fly out of Orlando at noon and arrive in Ohio at like 5, 6-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we didn't get home until 2 a.m.
Yeah, we ended up flying to
We flew from Orlando to Fort Myer, Fort
Fort
Myer to
Myer to
Baltimore,
Baltimore.
Baltimore into Ohio.
and over the course of just hours on
Yeah.
hours. And I didn't think, I will say, my only saving grace for surviving in that airport
Minecraft on your
was Minecraft on my Switch. I totally forgot that I had it because I'm so fucking mad at myself. I only remember to bring one game, and it was Smash. And I like Smash, don't get me wrong, but I can only play it for so long,
Yeah.
like by myself.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to find Animal Crossing. That's the big one I wanted to bring. That or like one of the Pokemon games.
Yeah.
But so I'm playing Smash, and then I remembered, I was like, oh, I have Minecraft downloaded. I remember I bought it on the e-store.
Yeah.
And by golly, I did it, and then I made it, and that's what kept me
got you
afloat.
through. And then this dumbass, this leads us in. Got anything more about Disney?
Some kid whooped my ass because on Switch, because on our flight to Baltimore, we all got separated, and I had to sit next to some kid,
Yeah.
right? And he was maybe like 11, 12.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there, and I saw him watching me play Smash.
Mm-hmm.
And so I after a while, I put down the TV tray, kicked up the stand, took him off, and I handed him one controller. I was like, "You want to play?" And he was like, "Yeah." So we played. He whooped my ass and laughed in my face about it. And I kid you not, I took the controller from him, switched it on, turned it off, and put it in my bag. I was totally a sore loser about it. I was like, "Yeah, you find that fucking funny? We're not gonna play anymore.
I'm
Fuck
glad
you."
you had a good fucking time, loser. He's fucking 11. Just give him the bird to his face. Yeah, have
Here
fun
you go,
with that.
jackass.
Yeah, laugh at this, fucko. And so, anyways, we fly in at like 2 a.m. I had purchased days in advance our tickets for The Flash for Sunday, which is the day that the first, especially the day after we got home.
Yeah.
Turns out it's the day that we get home because we got home at 3 a.m.
So I think I went to after we all got unpacked,
It was
everything.
like between 4 and 5.
I said I went to bed. I think like 4:45.
Yeah, and fucking I had booked us for the 12, and you're like, why the 12, man? Let's just do it 10.
Let's just do it 10.
10 a.m. Let's get the earliest.
My logic behind it is that we're supposed to be home by 6. We can just take it easy that night, get a good night's sleep, wake up, go see it at 10, right? And then we still got the whole day to like kind of regroup with society and like pick up where we left off, get ready for work and stuff like that.
So instead, we have to roll out of bed after the day of travel prior.
You guys woke me up saying that we're already running late.
Yeah.
We're going to miss all the previews.
Yeah.
And I think I just threw a shirt on.
Yeah, we just rode. And so then we went and saw The Flash, which that leads us into talking about that. Yeah. And we're going to give just our
spoilers
thoughts on it.
Yeah, there's nothing to.
So, Chris, you got a synopsis?
No.
All right. Well, I do. So Barry Allen uses his super speed to change the past, but his attempt to save his family creates a world without superheroes, forcing him to race for his life in order to save the future. So this movie had a budget of somewhere in the ballpark of $200 million to $400 million, depending on the marketing. And it made $138 million in its opening weekend. Worldwide. That is a lot of...
Whoa.
That's a lot. That opened worse than Black Adam.
Woof.
That's not good.
That's not good at all.
Like $138 million, that's not nothing. But when you've spent potentially $400 million to make this movie, and you got to do that, you've got to make $400 million to break even. Mm-hmm. And this is the weekend you're going to make the most money. This is when you make your money, and then every week after that is hoping you'll inch across the line. I don't know that they're going to make their money back on this one because it's not had good word of mouth.
Nah.
Which leads me to the Rotten Tomatoes score here.
Yeah, let me know.
Let's see what we got here. I was a little surprised. 66 from the critics. It's not a Rotten Tomato. Audience score 85. Audiences kind of enjoyed it.
That doesn't make sense.
I didn't like it.
No.
Yeah, I guess we got to rate the thing, huh?
Yeah.
How do we rate stuff around here, Chris?
I didn't like it, so
yeah.
No. You can always be overwhelmed, which means your expectations were surpassed, or they were highly met. You can be underwhelmed, which means you thought it was a stinker, you didn't think it was that good. You were
didn't meet your expectations.
Yeah, didn't meet them, or you can always meet right in the middle and be simply whelmed.
Yeah, I was very underwhelmed.
Yeah, underwhelming for sure. Like I didn't have too high of expectations for it because I know it's DC.
Yeah, I did a little bit, only because I'd heard so many good things.
There's
a lot of hype.
Tom Cruise coming out and saying that shit was banging. That made you excited for it, wasn't it?
Did he?
Yeah, Tom Cruise came in and was like, yeah, he saw it. And he was like,
oh, yeah.
This shit's amazing.
Like, fuck, this is cinema right here. Yeah. It wasn't good. Like,
of course, someone that believes in Scientology would say that.
Yeah.
Fucking cult.
Yeah. Of course he thought this was good. He was like, my God, how can I turn this into a religion? It was not good.
No, it was so bad. I mean,
acting, not great.
No.
Fucking
what?
Double berries.
You could just tell.
The fucking CGI in this thing
was so rubbery.
Bad.
It was so rubber. I read something like on Twitter that was saying like the guy who did a interview said that he did it on purpose to show like make it look more comic booky. And I was like,
I didn't come across as comic booky.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I'm sure, pal. Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was, huh? I was like, no, horseshit. I mean, it was just bad CGI.
Yeah, like I told you, because there's a lot of scenes with both Barry Allens, and in every shot where they're both in the shot, you can tell very obviously which one wasn't Ezra Miller,
right?
Because they look like a video game character. And I looked at you and I went, I got 2 words for you. Parent Trap.
Yeah.
In the fucking 90s, they did
Lindsay
with 2
Lohan.
fucking 9-year-old Lindsay Lohans, and it looks like 2 Lindsay Lohans.
What are you doing?
What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
You couldn't give me 2 Ezra Millers? Come on.
It was just not good. I mean, the story was just so inconsistent. I felt like the entire time
I just didn't care
about Barry trying to get back to his universe.
Yeah.
And then he tried to save the other universe after. It's all over the place, I felt. Because like he's trying to go back to his universe because he lost his powers. So he's trying to get his powers back. He's trying to go back to his universe and get his powers back. And then for whatever reason, he finds a reason that he needs to stay and save that universe because that's the one where his mom lives.
Alive.
But then it turns out that his mom needs to die because basically it's a canon event and that has to happen.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, now he has to go back further in time to stop her from picking up the can of tomatoes so she dies. Yeah. And it's just like, well, which one is, this whole thing feels like it's just a rigmarole of going back and forth.
So, I mean, I guess in that sense, the whole movie is about him accepting, like moving on, right? Of like, we tried to change it and all that and it didn't work out. And, he's got to let things be the way they were, right? So that was his lesson learned, right? Was that, got to accept it and just let it be and move forward. But he does still fuck with it a little bit and save his dad.
Right. But then, which leads to a fact that he's still not in the same universe because he did that. Like, because at the end, and when he first goes back, Michael Keaton's Batman. Yeah. And Michael Keaton playing Batman, honly kind of fucking sucked. Which really bummed me out. Yeah. Because I liked Michael Keaton as Batman. I mean, it's just funny, in my opinion, with the neck.
With the neck.
With the neck. Yeah, he can't move. Yeah. But, when we first fucking saw him, he looked like the Big Lebowski. Yeah. Yeah. And then he finally shaves and cuts his hair and everything like that.
And then just says some lines from the original movies.
Yeah.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. And you're like, shut the fuck up.
And what you saw in the trailers of Michael Keaton is about it. And then with Superwoman, I really liked her character.
Supergirl was fucking cool.
I thought it was cool. Like the concept behind it was, she was really cool and stuff like that. Watching her, I'd say the CGI of when she's all crippled kind of and very malnourished, and they finally get her back in the sun, and you see her skin start to fill back out. That looked cool, and I was very excited. Fucking threw that in the trash, dude.
Yeah, she just was gone.
They nerfed her like nobody's business.
She was fighting Kryptonians.
Yeah. They just didn't do anything with her. Yeah. Other than the fact of
I did want to mention that apparently she has met with Warner Brothers. I don't know how to pronounce the young lady's last name. Sasha Kale, maybe. Okay. She has met with Warner Brothers about coming back as Supergirl.
I'd like to see something, man, but I want to wait till James Gunn's doing it.
Yeah. Though I don't know. I've seen some people going, James Gunn liked this movie. So
I saw something. It was on Twitter. I can see if I can find it.
He's the CEO of DC. He's not going to come out and be like, don't go see this movie. It's ass. You know what I mean?
It's still his franchise and stuff
Yeah.
like that now. But I did see something where someone came out. I'll try to find the tweet and I'll retweet it. So check out the socials here soon. Where James Gunn had liked a post that someone made tweeting at DC and James Gunn talking about how contradictive The Flash was. Mm-hmm. And he, basically pointing out all the flaws, and he liked it.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, but so, yeah, it was just not good. And then at the end, we see George Clooney as the Batman.
Yeah. As Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. And it was like, literally the fucking last shot of this movie is Barry Allen's tooth popping out.
Yeah, his tooth falling out was stupid, and it just,
I don't know, man.
It just wasn't good, man.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. And maybe we should watch it again at some point, because keeping in mind the night and morning that we'd had, maybe skewed what we'd have been able to enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They made
seeing the
Ezra Miller playing Barry Allen and how awkward he is. Like I understand Barry Allen's like awkward with women, and like there's that little love interest he has.
Yeah.
But just knowing what Ezra Miller did, like grooming that girl.
Yeah.
It's like it makes it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So like there is that aspect too, but like trying to
fucking other Barry Allen, annoying as shit.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Like I
wanted
again
to punch him in the fucking head.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, they did that on purpose, but it wasn't enjoyable. I didn't like him on screen.
No. And then turns out he becomes the Reverse Flash.
No, he wasn't.
I thought that was the whole shtick. Is just like it's a variant.
No, so he was not Reverse Flash, because I was like, is this supposed to be Reverse Flash? And Andy Muschietti, who directed the movie, was like, no, that was not the Reverse Flash.
But
I like that I make it sound like I reached out to him.
Hey, I was emailing
I just shot Andy Muschietti, director of the It Chapter 1 and 2 movies. Hey, was that the Reverse Flash? And he said, nah. No, he was just saying in an interview that was not.
Yeah, weird. But it was just bad.
One thing that I did enjoy, or that I thought was interesting, was the way that they visualized him being able to time travel, of like running faster than the speed of light, and then he manages to create some sort of like time space bubble around himself.
Oh, sure.
And then it kind of almost like he's in the middle of
looks like a Coliseum almost.
And each level of the Coliseum seating is like a ring of time and a tree, and it's almost like rewinding a film or scanning through a footage of he can run in forwards and backwards and kind of change where in time he's stopping. That was kind of an interesting way to visualize it. Yeah. And that's kind of how they actually end up visualizing the multiverse.
Yes.
Is balls.
And we get to see
Coliseums. We get to see
Nick Cage as Superman.
We got to see Golden Age Flash with like the tin hat. We got to see Christopher Reeves, and I can't think of the young lady's name who played Supergirl in the early 80s, but they both were there.
Pop up, and like the worlds start colliding and stuff like that.
And then they just fixed it.
I hope James Gunn, like I got faith in him, man. Like he's made some great movies, but man, you're not setting yourself up for success.
To be fair, this movie was not his.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but I'm just saying he also does oversee everything now. So he still had at the end of the day give that a green light and go, yep, that looks good.
Yeah, this is the best we can get it. And the way you said James Gunn, I need you, made me think of that fucking video of that young lady who is like taking a mad shit and is like, President Trump, save us! You gotta save us! That's where we're at with DC.
I saw one where it was like some woman who got like pulled over and like she like was like going like 135, and the guy's like, cop's like banging on her window. He's got his gun pulled out and he's trying to yank on us, and she's like live streaming on Facebook and she's doing the same thing like, President Trump, save me. I'm just like,
what's he gonna do?
What are you gonna do? He's gonna come over, I pardon this one.
Why was your President Trump Obama? I pardon this one.
I pardon.
But I don't want to talk about Flash anymore.
No,
we might come back to it.
It's not good. That's all I had.
Yeah. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for your attention and support. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a great review. Tell your friends about it. Fucking share us on social media.
Yes, I'll be posting a bunch more stuff, especially
definitely
of
jump in on
Florida.
there. How are they gonna?
Not the singer.
No, the state. How are they gonna see us on there?
Yeah, you can always check out our social medias. Our Instagram and Facebook is Simply Whelmed Podcast. Our Twitter handle is whelmed_simply. You can always reach out to us via email if you had any more questions about like Disney or some of our adventures, or if you've been to
Your
Disney,
own experiences.
you know,
there,
what are some of your favorite parts, or if you want to prove us wrong about how the Slinky ride was a bust, as well as the river ride of Navi.
Yeah.
You can definitely let us know at simplywellmailbag@gmail.com.
That's right. Next week is the Barbie Oppenheimer episode. I'm determined that we will go see both and talk about both.
Yeah. That's going to be a two-parter.
Yeah.
Chris's Cryptic Corner is just gone, I guess. I haven't talked about it in weeks.
Yeah.
I got stuff lined up. Like, I know I'm talking about it. It's just what we've been talking about.
Yeah, it just hasn't really.
We already burned through so much time, like, in our episode just because we fucking gab a whole bunch.
Yeah. Yeah, we're at an hour. We're at an hour, and I bet after the edit, we're under an hour.
It'd probably be like 50 minutes, maybe.
I don't know that we got that much to cut out, but who knows, man? I don't know.
The world's full of mysteries.
That's right.
What are we going to do today to make tomorrow?
I don't know. It's in the episode. Bye.
Bye.